Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. We are going to continue our series where I'm showing you my record collection of about 5,800 albums. We're up to the letter L. We got 29 artists, 184 albums, and it kind of looks like that. We got 4.5 stacks of CDs and vinyl that you can't see right now. Let's get started with the letter L. We are going to start off with an interesting one. I always love this cover. This is the LA Jets. This was a singer named Karen Lawrence and a band she was in. This was a one and only album with them. And she sang with Aerosmith on the Draw the Line album. And she also sang on Jeff Beck's Flash album, if I remember right. But this was a thing called LA Jets. Great cover. Okay, after that, we go to the La's and their classic album. The La's, with There She Goes and Timeless Melody. And then I also have the La's BBC In Session CDs. 2 albums that I have from the La's. Next up, Greg Lake. Of course, from King Crimson and most famously Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I got this great retrospective called the Greg Lake Retrospective from the beginning. I love this one. It's 2 CDs, and it's got King Crimson and Emerson, Lake and Palmer and solo Greg Lake, and it's awesome. And this is a good one, too. Greg Lake in concert from King Biscuit Flower Hour. And this was a really good live performance as well. And another one called From the Underground. This is official bootleg from Greg Lake. And the quality is kind of hit or miss, but you get a good variety of his stuff. Next up, we have got Cyndi Lauper. I think I skipped one, but we'll get back to it. Cyndi Lauper, the classic debut. She's so unusual. Sometimes in my CDs, you see the original hype stickers, because of course I had them on vinyl. And I kept the hype stickers. This is the deluxe edition with bonus tracks. Next up, there's the hype sticker from the vinyl as well. Her second album, True Colors. Another fine record. And then 12 Deadly Sins, which is her best of collection. 3 from Cyndi Lauper, and I like her. That's all I really needed. This is the one I skipped. David Lanz. Christopher's Dream. Always had this on vinyl, and this is a really good instrumental album. Kind of new agey. Does a great cover of A Whiter Shade of Pale. Like that one a lot. Okay, we are up to a big one. Led Zeppelin. Apparently I have 34 Led Zeppelin albums. But as you'll see, there is a lot of duplication because they just reissue this stuff over and over again. And suckers like me keep buying them. But I did get rid of all of the vinyl. Here is a debut album. And I got rid of the single one. This is the deluxe 2 CD editions. I am not thrilled with the Led Zeppelin reissues. They're really scant. Here's Led Zeppelin 2. Again, the deluxe 2 CD edition. The artwork is great. The packaging is fine. The bonus discs are really not overly impressive. Here's Led Zeppelin 3. And love how they reproduced the original vinyl. And again, this is a deluxe edition. 2 CDs. Led Zeppelin 4. Same situation. Deluxe edition with 2 CDs. Houses of the Holy. This is the deluxe edition as well. 2 discs. I kept the belly band. I remember this was the first Led Zeppelin album I bought when it came out on vinyl. And it had the belly band. Back in those days, you just threw the belly band out. Here's the first edition on CD. I kept this because it's a special Led Zeppelin album for me. Physical Graffiti is my all-time favorite Led Zeppelin album. Here's the digitally remastered one, 2 CD set. I kept that because it's such a special album. This is the deluxe edition, 3-disc version of Physical Graffiti. And then we got Presents. I just did a video on Presents not that long ago. You could check that out. Treasure or Trash. And this is the deluxe edition 2 CD set. The deluxe edition of the soundtrack from The Song Remains the Same. I actually really like what they did with this. They blew it out, put a bunch of extra tracks on there that weren't on the original vinyl, and I actually think it made it better. I still remember getting this the week it came out, and I was so excited to finally have a live Led Zeppelin album, and I always liked it. In Through the Outdoor, I am missing the deluxe edition of this one. Don't have it yet. And here's the deluxe edition of Coda, the posthumous album, and this is a big deluxe edition. It's not the kind of Zeppelin album I listen to all the time, but good to have in the collection, of course. Here's the original 2 CD BBC Sessions album. They did redo this with extra tracks. I didn't get it. Here's the live one, How the West Was Won. Pretty cool live record. A lot of people love. 3 discs. A lot of jamming on here, as Led Zeppelin was apt to do back in the day. And here is Remasters. This is a 2-disc best of for a band that never had greatest hits albums. They certainly do now have a bunch. And this is a twofer, early days and latter days. The best of Led Zeppelin volumes 1 and 2. It's actually 2 completely different discs, but they put it in a slipcase. And it looks like that. I never listened to these comps. That wasn't enough. They did Mothership. And this was this version of that. 2 discs. And a couple of bootlegs. The legendary Destroyer. This is a great one from the 77 tour. Legendary bootleg. This is another cool one. This is called Kingdom of Zepp, because it's from the Kingdom in Seattle, also from the 77 tour. It's a 3-disc boot. And here's a cool bootleg from their final tour. This is from 1980. And, of course, they were going to do a world tour and play the States and everything. Unfortunately, John Bonham passed away. Here is Celebration Day, the box set of it, when they reformed and did it up right. And this is 2 CDs and a DVD, and I have nothing but great positive things to say about that. That was really well done. That's not all Led Zeppelin that I have. I have not been showing any 8-tracks in the roundup here, but I'm going to show 2 Led Zeppelin 8-tracks. These are original ones from Led Zeppelin 2 and In Through the Outdoor. And one of the cool things on 8-tracks is the playlists are always different. So when you listen to an album on 8-track, it's totally different experience than the vinyl or the CDs that you know so well, because they're completely reformatted, the songs, to make them fit on an 8-track. Here's the great box set, Led Zeppelin remastered. So all of those albums I have, again, here, remastered in this box set. Really nicely done. Of course, they just keep remastering them and reissuing them over and over again. The legendary box set was a huge hit, and it was really well done. And here's the Led Zeppelin 4-disc box that I'm sure you have and know very well. And it was so successful they decided to do a follow-up box, which is this one, which comprised every Led Zeppelin song that was left off that box. So with these 2 boxes, you have everything, and there it is. So Led Zeppelin. What did I say? 34 albums. Go figure. All right, let's keep going. We are up to John Lennon. And on vinyl, I got this Double Fantasy. This is a ladder pressing. I decided to get it. I found it for real cheap. This is one of those ladder 180-gram vinyl, that thick, heavy vinyl. I don't know. What can I tell you? I'm still a CD guy. My system is vintage stuff, and I have a good turntable. But to me, nothing beats CD. But interesting to have. All right. On CD, we got the legendary Plastic Ono Band album. Love this one. This is remastered. And we got Imagine remastered. There's so many versions of these now. Here's Mind Games. And Double Fantasy, I just showed you on vinyl. This is the version, the stripped down version. They did a nice job on this one. You get the original album and you get the stripped down version. I kind of like how they did that one. John Lennon Collection, best of album. And you got the soundtrack to the film Imagine. Okay. And you got Live in New York City, which of course they're just putting out in that huge box set. This is an interesting one, acoustic. Kind of like that, demos and things like that. And you got on 2 discs, Working Class Hero. I just dropped a bunch of John Lennon, but that's okay. And Working Class Hero is the definitive Lennon, 2 discs. And there it is right there. Okay, notice track 2, disc 8. Disc 2, track 8. Notice what was on that compilation, which they will not put on the new 9 CD version of Sometime in New York City. Here's Give Me Some Truth, a 4-disc box set. The best of John Lennon. It's really got a ton of his stuff on there. And that same track you will also find on this box set. But they will not put it on the 9-disc reissue. Give Me Some Truth. So there's John Lennon. Where is Walls and Bridges? Oh, Walls and Bridges is on vinyl. I have Walls and Bridges on vinyl with the fold over. Sorry, had that escape me. Okay, let's keep going. Next up, Julian Lennon. I got 2 from Julian Lennon. I really like The Best of Behind the Music is a really good compilation. His first album, Velout, was a big hit here in America, and it was good. And this is a studio record called Photograph Smile. I actually thought this was a fine album as well. Julian Lennon has not had it too easy, but he's real good. Next up, a band that I've talked about a lot on my channel that nobody's ever heard of. This is Less Variations, a Moroccan band called Moroccan Roll, and they have the most unique sound. I have tons of clippings from Cream Magazine and Circus Magazine from back in the day. Nothing sounds like them. They're a good rock and roll band. They sing in English, but they got a lot of really cool sounds. Check out on YouTube, I Don't Know Why. That is a killer rock track that I guarantee you will like. All I Want to Know is another really good one. This is a really cool band, Moroccan Roll, from Less Variations from the 70s. And they did a follow-up album with a different singer. And this is also a really good record called Café de Paris. And a song called Superman, Superman was actually a hit. But Less Variations, 2 albums from them. Next up, Jerry Lee Lewis. I got 2 Latter-day records. Mean Old World, Mean Old Man. Right there. And Last Man Standing. Really nice package. This thing opens up like a book. And this has, like, you know, the guest stars all over it. You could see Keith Richards is on there, Ringo, and Eric Clapton, Mick Jagger, Ronnie Wood doing Evening Gown, that amazing Mick Jagger track from Wandering Spirit that everybody should know because it's one of the greatest songs of all time. And this one, Mean Old Man, also is all guest star stuff. So these are really good collections that I like a lot, these latter-day Jerry Lee Lewis albums. All right, what do we got next? We got the Ramsey Lewis Trio on vinyl, Choice, a jazz album. Okay, Gordon Lightfoot comes next. I am more of a Gordon Lightfoot collection guy. The legendary album Gord's Gold, which is the earlier stuff, and then Gord's Gold Volume 2, which would be the latter-day stuff, including the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and put it all together, complete greatest hits, depending on my mood. This is the one that I typically go with. Gordon Lightfoot. Okay, next up, a guy that you may not have heard of, but I like him, Buzzy Linhart, and this is a double vinyl set called The Best of Buzzy Linhart, and he's different and fun and really good to a certain extent. Here's Take Me to the Pilot, the Elton John song. He is the guy who wrote Friends, but you got to have friends. So Buzzy Linhart. Okay, now we get to a really big one. This is going to surprise you. The second biggest one in the letter L for me is Little Feat. Oh, no, I forgot one. We're almost at Little Feat. We're going to talk Lindisfarne. This is still in my backlog. This is called The Charisma Years, 1970-1973. Their first 5 albums. 5 albums on this set that I got from England. I actually got it, found it used for like nothing. It was mispriced. I think I paid $5 for 5 albums of Lindisfarne. This is in my backlog. Now we're up to Little Feat. I have a whopping, unbelievable, 28 Little Feat albums on CD. So I am a fan. I talk about Little Feat a lot. So here's a debut. Now they've been reissuing these things big time. Here's Sailing Shoes. And Dixie Chicken. And Feet Don't Fail Me Now. These are all original CDs, but they still sound really good. The Last Record album. They're really good albums, obviously. Time Loves a Hero. And the last one, Down on the Farm. Now, after that, they put out Hoy Hoy, which was a collection, a double CD of, actually, it's a double vinyl album, single CD, with a really nice book of kind of different tracks and really good. Of course, one of the greatest live albums of all time is Waiting for Columbus, and you got to get this version, the 2-disc version with the extra tracks, previously unreleased outtakes. This is one of the all-time great live records, and there is a ton of other bootlegs and pseudo-bootlegs that I have, including this one, Snakes on Everything. And this is all the original classic Little Feat. This is really nice bootleg. And this is live from 1973 at Ebbets Field in Colorado. Another double disc of the original Little Feat with the great Lowell George. The ironic part with Little Feat, and I bring it up a lot, you know, that's the Little Feat that everybody talks about, the legendary Little Feat. But at least here in America and worldwide, they were not all that big at that time. They didn't sell a lot of records, and they weren't playing big places. They continued later on, and they put out all of these other latter-day Little Feat albums, and they're really good. I'm not going to say they're better than the original ones, but they are nothing to shy away from. And they actually had more commercial success with some of these albums. Let It Roll, Hate to Lose Your Lovin', Ain't Had Enough Fun. That's got Sean Murphy. They brought in a female singer at one point. She was really good. Representing the Mambo. These are good records. Shake Me Up. Perhaps the album graphics could have been a little bit better. Here's a collection called The Very Best of Little Feat. And that is the original Little Feat right there. And here's the Best of Little Feat, which collects different stuff. The early stuff and some latter-day stuff. Here's one called Live from Neon Park. There's a lot of live Little Feat, and no matter what version you get, I guarantee you they're always really good. Here's Chinese Work Songs, latter-day album. And they have these excellent collections. This is called Raw Tomatoes, Volume 1, and this is where they go into their archives. They put out their own record label. Did really cool stuff. This one's called Ripe Tomatoes. And again, they go into their archives, live stuff from all different periods where they don't even ignore the latter-day stuff, which is cool. Here's an acoustic evening with Little Feat, lives at the Ram's Head. And this is a double live acoustic Little Feat. Here's another one called Down Upon the Suwannee River. All these are live albums, and they're excellent. Here's another one, High Wire Act, live in St. Louis, 2003. And I'm telling you, they're all really good. Here's another collection, Barnstorming Live, Volume 2. This is the latter-day Little Feat. Here's one called Little Feat and Friends Join the Band. And that's exactly what they do. They have some legendary artists like Bob Seger, Jimmy Buffett, and others playing with Little Feat. And the last one I have is Rooster Rag, No Excuses, No Regrets. They are a really good band, no matter what period of time you're talking about. Give Little Feat a chance on their latter-day stuff. You're missing out on good music. 28 Little Feat albums. That's a lot. This is a cool one. Back in the day, this was like a goofy one hit. It wasn't even a hit. This was called Little Roger and the Goosebumps. And they did Stairway to Gilligan's Island. That's right. If you know the TV show Gilligan's Island, they took the theme song and mixed it with the music of Stairway to Heaven. And it's a lot of fun. So if you never heard this, it'll put a smile on your face. Little Steven and the Disciples of Soul, his album Men Without Women. Okay. Little Walter. Right there. We got the Essential Little Walter 2 CD set, legendary bluesman. And then we're going to do Living Color. I saw these guys open up for the Stones. The album Vivid. This is all I really need from them. This is actually a really big, successful album in its time. We are up to the number one L for me as far as quantity. It's not Led Zeppelin, who had 34 albums. It's not Little Feat, who had 28 albums. It's Nils Lofgren. Nils Lofgren I was into before I even got into Bruce Springsteen. That's what a Nils Lofgren fan I am. And 38 Nils Lofgren albums. Let's get to it. On vinyl, Grin, 1+1. Great legendary vinyl record. Here's a cool one called All Out. Oh, opens like that. Gotta love those old vinyl days. Sad letter, heavy Chevy. Great stuff from Nils Lofgren and his first band called Grin. Let's put that back in the covering because I keep all my vinyl in these. Here's the best of Nils Lofgren and Grin. I never liked this cover, but it's a great collection. And the real bootleg, they've reissued this, but this is called Nils Lofgren Live, an authorized bootleg, Back It Up. And this was a radio show that they put out as an authorized bootleg. But before that, you had the great Nils Lofgren debut solo record, which was killer. And it still is killer. Love it. The second one was Cry Tough, digitally remastered. The third one was I Came to Dance. This was supposed to be the big hit. It wasn't. But that title track did get some radio play, which was nice. Because even back in the day, Nils wasn't getting a lot of play. My very first Nils Lofgren album was this. Night After Night, I got it at Columbia House Record Club. He did a song called Keith Don't Go, and I got it just for that. And he was so cool looking. And I love this live record with all that jamming. And this is it on CD. Okay, after that, A&M was pushing him, and he put out the Nils album. Thought this was going to be the make or break for him. With No Mercy, great track. Shine Silently is amazing. It's a really good Nils Lofgren album, but didn't break him to make it big time. After that, we got, what do we got? Night Fades Away, a very slick album. And I've seen Nils live so many times. This is another great one called Wonderland. If you never heard Across the Tracks, that is a killer song. I thought it was going to be a huge hit, but it wasn't. After that, he did Flip. And for all you people in the UK, I know that Secrets in the Street was actually kind of a hit over there. It's a decent record. Here's another live one called Code of the Road, Greatest Hits Live. I had that on vinyl initially. And then we get into more. We got Silver Lining. And by now, he's playing with Springsteen. So Springsteen helps out on a song there called Valentine. Remember that. And this one is Crooked Line. This was a really good one. This was a big hit for me in its time. And this is Nils Lofgren Favorites, 1990 to 2005. This is Latter Day collection. This is a cool one, a movie soundtrack called Every Breath, which featured Bonnie Sheridan, and Todd Lepson. And this is a really good, and it's autographed. Believe, Nils Lofgren. I met him, and he signed that. Here's Soft Fun, Tough Tears, 1971 to 1970, Grin and Solo. There's a lot of compilations, and that's a better one. Here's Archive Live. Speaking of, Nils has got some Archive Live stuff that you're about to see. Damaged Goods. By this album, his voice changed. He got really deeper and kind of Tom Waits-like, and just didn't appeal to me as much. This is a great acoustic live record back in the Unplugged days. This one worked really well. That's a good one. If you ever see that, that's a good one. New Lives. This is a live show from the BBC. Here's a bigger collection of the very best of Grin featuring Nils Lofgren. So that vinyl one I showed you only had a couple of songs. This one's up to 19 tracks. The other one actually might be easier to listen to. Here's a collection called The Ultimate Collection of Nils Lofgren. And this one is his solo stuff. A really good collection of that. And what do we got? Breakaway Angel. Good record. And another live one called Nils Lofgren Band Live. This is a double live one. And finally, he put White Lies, which is one of the great Nils Lofgren Grin tracks. Check out White Lies. If you never heard it, you'll thank me. Sacred Weapon. The latter day stuff, like I said, his voice changed. And Nils hasn't had a really big hit for me like back in the beginning. I like him, but none of his later albums have really done much for me. Blue with Lou was tracks that he had written with Lou Reed back in the day, that he didn't release, and he did it there. Here's Weathered. This is a latter-day live record. This is a good one. Double CD. And a couple of other ones. Here is Old School, another studio record. These latter-day ones, they just were not really big hits for me. Of course, Nils Lofgren played with Neil Young many times, starting out with on the... just drew a blank. But Nils Sings Neil. After the Gold Rush was the first Nils Lofgren album that he did with Neil Young. And this is a album where Nils just does covers of Neil Young songs. Just okay. So Nils Lofgren was, for a long time, one of my favorite artists. I still really like him, but he hasn't had a really big hit for me, honestly, in a long time. But 38 albums. Kenny Loggins is next. All I need from him solo is the Essential Kenny Loggins 2-CD set. And then we got Loggins and Messina on stage, a legendary live record. And these guys could jam. It's a fine live record. And this is a bootleg, start to finish. Loggins and Messina from the Nassau Coliseum, their final show on boot. That's a good one. And then Loggins and Messina sitting in again. This is the best of Loggins and Messina. Really good collection. After that, we got Lone Justice. And The World Is Not My Home. This is a collection of the best of Lone Justice. Fine band. I just turned around. Look what I forgot, guys. I forgot to show you these box sets. Nils Lofgren, Face the Music. This is a monster. How did I forget to show you this? Check this out. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I've done it. How many discs are in this thing? 9 CDs and a DVD. Talk about the whole Nils Lofgren career in this massive box set. I don't know if they're still around, but I never liked these booklets, but it looks like this. But you really, Nils does like track by track analysis. It's a huge book, even though I don't like this format. But this is a great box set, and then there's 9 CDs and a DVD. I can't believe I forgot to show you this one. Nils Lofgren, Face the Music. And right behind it, Little Feat, 4 discs. And the nice thing about this, it covers their whole career up through that time, which was 1998. But this is another excellent, really good book, too, for what it is at that time. Little Feat. Can't believe I forgot to show you that stuff. All right, let's continue. We are up to Los Lobos and Kiko. And just another band from East LA, a collection. They are a work in progress for me, actually in the backlog. Okay, after that, we have got Love. And I got 2 Love albums. I got the legendary Forever Changes, which is not underrated. You know, they talk about albums, and this is really as great as people say it is. I love it. And then I got the Definitive Love Collection, 2 CDs, all I really need from Love. But Forever Changes, whew, is amazing. The Lovin' Spoonful, let's talk about them. Do You Believe in Magic on CD, digital remastered with bonus tracks. And what the hell's the name of this one? I can't even see. Everything Playing. Been a long time since I listened to these, but they're really good. They're a good band. Hums of the Lovin' Spoonful. Again, remastered with bonus tracks. And probably all you really need, the Lovin' Spoonful's greatest hits. They're just a fun band, and this one disc has like 26 songs. Really kind of covers it, so. Nick Lowe is next, and the legendary Jesus of Cool album, or as it was released in America, Pure Pop for Now People. Same album, different track listing. This is a beautifully done. Look at how they did this. This is a beautifully done CD. You talk about, look at that. Isn't that something? Well done, guys. I clap for you. What a wonderful collection this is. A great album. And then I got the best of Nick Lowe, which is really all I need from Nick Lowe, to be honest with you. How about a band called Luna Park? Kind of always said, kind of influenced in a sense by Velvet Underground, but they're really good. This is Bewitched. This is a really good one. And Luna Live, I really like this one. They do a great version of Bonnie and Clyde. Ooh, so good. And the best of Luna. So yeah, I got 4 Luna albums, and I really like them. Then we get to Shelby Lynne. Very successful artist for me. Definitely a fan. We got I Am Shelby Lynne. Very famous album. Now, the next one is actually my favorite album by hers, and most people trash it, but they're wrong. Love Shelby. It's first of all, great cover. Call me sexist. I don't care. I love the cover. But this is a great album. That was the officially released version. I love this album. It's a little bit commercial, but that's okay. The advanced CD of this album is different. They changed the tracks on it, so you got to have both. Okay, Identity Crisis. She is the real deal. Her sister, of course, is Alison Moorer, who you'll see in the M's. There's Suit Yourself. As you can see, I'm definitely a fan. Just a Little Lovin'. I love this one. She does great versions of those classic tracks. Excellent. Revelation Road. There's not a Shelby Lynne album that I'm showing you that's not really good. I Can't Imagine. She has not had an easy life, but she is the real deal. Tears, Lies, and Alibis. And that's where I left off with Shelby Lynne. I have 9 Shelby Lynne albums. One more to show you. Lynyrd Skynyrd. I got a whopping 13 Lynyrd Skynyrd albums. Let's get to it, shall we? How about Pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd? Debut albums don't get much better than that. Remastered bonus tracks. Second Helping. Remastered with bonus tracks. Nothing Fancy. Got a bonus track. The live one, One More from the Road. This is the 25th anniversary deluxe edition with bonus tracks. Give Me Back My Bullets, deluxe edition, including a live DVD from the Old Grey Whistle test and bonus tracks. And an authorized bootleg of Lynyrd Skynyrd live from the Winterland, March 7th of 1976. Great show. And Street Survivors, the original vinyl CD release, remastered with bonus tracks. But then we also did get that as the deluxe edition right here, with the flames, of course. And that's got a whole second disc of the Criteria Studio album original versions and Live in California from '77. Unfortunately, that was the end of the original Lynyrd Skynyrd. After that, they did put out this album called Skynyrd First and Last, a really good collection of the original Skynyrd tracks at that point were not released. This is a really good collection. It was a really nice touch when MCA put that out after, the end of Lynyrd Skynyrd from the plane crash. That was a really good touch. There's some other ones we got here as well, which I'll show you, including Freebird the movie, Skynyrd Live, and all-time greatest hits. There's a lot of Lynyrd Skynyrd compilations out there. This is a single version. Here's a double one called The Essential Lynyrd Skynyrd. 2 discs right there. And this one's called Collectibles, which has got lots of early stuff and unreleased stuff. They've done a good job. And last but not least, the green box set. Early box set, so it's only 3 discs. Of course, box sets have come a long way since this one, but it's still a fine release. But they've done a great job with Skynyrd, remastering all the albums with bonus tracks, deluxe editions. And if you ever find this box set out there for cheap, which is where I found this one, it's fine. Not massively comprehensive, but plenty good for sure. So there you have it, guys. The letter L. 29 artists, 184 albums, covered in 34 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this. A lot of really great music here. Let me know what you think. What do you like? What do you don't like? And what do you think I'm missing? And as always, I appreciate you watching. Hope you're having a great day. And I will see you next time on the Alan Rosenberg Show. And check out playlists and subscribe if you're new. All right, I'll see you around.